o'clock, City Council members in Minneapolis will be taking a closer look at who they're paying to do violence interruption work.
We're going to work because it's the right thing to do.
One organization's leader is defending the work being done as council members consider pulling thousands in funding because of recent controversy.
The death toll is rising from dozens of tornadoes.
You wouldn't think just a wind and tornadoes would do this much devastation.
Just ahead, we're going to have a look at the path of destruction. Listen to this, folks. It started in Illinois, goes all the way to Georgia. Talk about a path.
Plus, St. Patrick's Day celebrations in the Twin Cities, why today's parade in Minneapolis marks a return to a more than 50-year tradition. Those stories and more right now on 5 Eyewitness News.
First, though, 6:01, forecast first alert, not even alert, a forecast first. There's no alert unless we need to alert people of the nice day ahead.
Yeah, there's no alert today, but Wednesday there is. So there is one later in the week, but let's enjoy this. Yes, nice today. 36 at Minneapolis, 35 in St. Paul. These temperatures are up 2 degrees, at least at Minneapolis St. Paul International from what they were. New Prague is up to 37. A wider view shows the same thing. Everybody is mild. Remember yesterday it was in the teens and 20s. We're at least 10 degrees warmer than that, depending where you are now, 15 in some places. 20s up to the north. It's going to be a good day. We have some clouds around right now. It's mild at 36. It's going to be warm later on, 65. There will be a breeze, so a heads up. It could gust to 25 miles per hour at times, but it will be a warm southwesterly breeze, so not a bad St. Patrick's Day at all. Then we head into the evening. Very quiet. The sun doesn't go down till about 7:30. So we get 12 hours of daylight today, folks. Enjoy. The days keep getting longer by 3 minutes. We'll talk more about that forecast first for Wednesday coming up. Hannah, how's traffic?
Sounds great, Ken. Traffic's looking good. I do want to point out this incident in Edina along Crosstown eastbound at Tracy Avenue, something I've been tracking for the past 2 hours now. You can see that stalled vehicle with flashing headlights off on the shoulder, not slowing down traffic in the area. I'll show you a surrounding camera, but if you're going from the west side using Crosstown going towards Minneapolis, St. Paul, going towards 35W, you could encounter this, but everything looking clear at Gleason Road. Of course, you could always go down south of there and use 494 as an alternate route, but again, nothing major to report. That's the only incident I'm tracking right now. Outside of that, no delays to report on this St. Patrick's Day morning. However, I think that will be changing around downtown St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis later on today with a few big parades. I'll go over the latest on that coming up in just a few minutes. Chris and Megan, over to you.
Hannah, thank you. A standoff at a St. Paul apartment building has ended without an arrest. Officers responded to a call about a domestic incident on Wilson Avenue near Hazel Street North in the Conway neighborhood. This was around 4 o'clock yesterday. Police say that the caller reported that her ex was in the apartment breaking things and threatening to shoot her. When the suspect refused to come out, police got a search warrant and a SWAT team went inside, but the suspect was gone. Police have not released the man's name, but say he had a felony warrant. Happening today, contracts for violence interrupters in Minneapolis are up for votes in a city council committee.
So one of those contracts for a nonprofit owned and operated by the Reverend Jerry McAfee is drawing criticism from some community groups and at least one council member. Kamaria Bray joins us here in the studio with the controversy and McAfee's response. Kamaria.
Chris and Megan, the group 21 Days of Peace is one of several violence prevention community groups that the city is considering giving more than $500,000 for an official partnership. But the chair of the committee taking this up today has strongly opposed this.
30. A St. Cloud State University student's passport seized as he faces tough questioning about his time spent with a missing woman. Authorities believe that he was the last person to see her, what he says happened.
One organization's contract with the city of Minneapolis worth more than $500,000 is up for debate today.
Here's the bottom line. You got a choice between feelings over facts.
Why the Violence Interrupter Group has recently come under scrutiny and why one council member is casting doubt over its mission.
And Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards drops 41 points in Minnesota's 8th straight win. The Ant-Man now stacks up to the franchise's leading scorers. We have these stories and more. 5 Eyewitness News.
And we're taking you live. And as weather things go around here, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best, but it's pretty awesome. Let's talk about it. Our chief meteorologist, Mr. Kent J. Barlow's here. Hannah, you've been talking about more traffic in both the downtowns today, too, because of the parade.
Yes, because of those parades. One's at noon in St. Paul, the other's at 6 o'clock tonight in Minneapolis. Not a bad day, though. I was in St. Paul on Saturday night for a Wild game, and I totally forgot that it was like St. Patrick's Day
it was
weekend.
going on
the
West
kids
7th.
go out, and I'm like, wow, it's chilly. It's chilly out here for you guys. Wearing t-shirts. I felt like my mom woke
They
up.
don't feel it after a while.
Exactly.
Well, this is going to be a great day. It's going to go up to 65 degrees this afternoon, and a little gusty with the winds, but when it's 65 degrees, it's a warm wind. For example, that 75 record high we had on Friday, that was a warm wind. This won't be quite as warm, but it'll still be mild out of the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. In the meantime, it's 36. Not much of a breeze, but a lot of clouds right now. The clouds are going to move out at least partially, and we will see partial sunshine. The rest of the state also in the 30s, except far to the north where it's in the 20s. It's going to stay mild all day today. The 36 right now is 15 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. This time, breezy and warm this afternoon, right into the evening. So for the Minneapolis parade as well, at 6 o'clock, like Hannah said, it's going to be in the low 60s as well, and then drop obviously into the 50s from there. But a good St. Patrick's Day today, but a forecast first alert for snow is in the forecast. More on that coming up. Hannah, how's traffic?
Sounds great, Ken. Time now 6:31. Traffic's looking awesome as we start this week. Here's 94 in Hudson. This is a 94 at the Minnesota-Wisconsin state line, the St. Croix River there in the distance. 94 looking clear here. I do want to point out, though, if you are traveling east of here, further into Hudson, you will be seeing some closures, some lane restrictions potentially, because crews will be starting up the bridge replacement project surrounding 94 in either direction over Kinney Road and 100th Street. That will start today and last until mid-October. So just a heads up, I don't have camera access in that area, but it's just east of Hudson surrounding 94. Here's the big map, green all around town. I'll go over those parade routes coming up at 6:45. Chris and Megan, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Hannah. We are following a developing story this morning at 6:32. Today, authorities in the Dominican Republic will be continuing to question a St. Cloud State University student in the disappearance of another college student.
Officials believe that college senior Josh Reeby is the last person to see a University of Pittsburgh student. She's been missing now for more than a week, and authorities have now seized Reeby's passport while they question him. Brandy Powell joining us now with what we know about all of this. Things changing pretty quickly and a lot to catch up on from the weekend.
They are. So right now, he's still in the Dominican Republic. And to be clear, at this hour, officials are saying Josh Reeby is not a suspect and has not been charged with the crime. This is being investigated as an accident. Officials say Reeby, who's a senior at St. Cloud State University in Minnesota, is from Iowa.
In 60s on this particular map. It also means St. Patrick's Day, of course. It's 36 right now. We're headed for a high of about 65 degrees today. Not a record, but still nice and warm. The record, by the way, for St. Patrick's Day was set in 2012. It was 80 degrees that day. We'll have a mix of clouds and sun, a little breezy, but a mild St. Patrick's Day. We'll have more and a forecast first alert later in the week when we come back.
And Ken, talking about that green, it's going to be a sea of green here in the Twin Cities, in both St. Paul and Minneapolis. That's because they both have parades this year. I'll tell you all about the celebrations in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Kelsey. Well, you have just a couple days to fill out your bracket before March Madness starts. Ahead, the top-seeded teams in both the men's and the women's tournaments. Now here's ABC's Ginger Z with a look at what's coming up this morning on GMA.
Chris, Megan, it's great to be with you. Coming up here on GMA, I am in Tylertown, Mississippi. The damage from just one of so many tornadoes this weekend. That was a cabin that was wrapped around this tree. There's just miles of destruction, not just in this state, but at least 8 others. There were at least 40 deaths from this powerful spring system between wildfires, dust storms, and the tornadoes themselves. We'll have a full wrap-up, and then also a look at the fire danger going into this week. Also, the investigation into the college student who vanished on spring break. Prosecutors have been questioning the man that they believe to be the last to see her, as authorities have confiscated his passport. We're live with the latest. And wholesale egg prices are dropping. We're going to tell you what's behind it and when it could affect your grocery bill. Plus, the team back in Times Square having some fun with March Madness, and they'll have a St. Patrick's Day meal with Bobby Flay. That and so much more on GMA.
With Mochi Health, I've lost 30 pounds. I have no desire to be skinny. I've loved being a plus-size girl. I just wanted to be healthier for me. When my grandmother died, I knew that diabetes was hereditary. That was my wake-up call.
For these medications, they are designed for long-term use.
With Mochi Health, I never feel alone. It's about progress, not perfection. I've lost 30 pounds, and I'm more me. Check out joinmochi.com.
With daily ED medication by Hims, you can be ready to go anytime, with no planning required. Choose from a range of once-a-day options, from chews to pills, with some that include other health gains. Feel more confident and more in control, with doctor-trusted treatments that are compounded in the USA and delivered in a discreet package. With daily solutions, you can enjoy spontaneous moments. Feel ready to go anytime with daily ED meds. Start today at hims.com.
Updated weather check. We'll check in with Hannah as well on Drive when we come right back.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online.
Years, it starts at 6 at Nicollet Mall.
And expect some heavier traffic surrounding those parades. Looking outside right now, seeing some heavier traffic because of this crash along 169 southbound in the Plymouth area at 394. Delays back to Plymouth Road right now. Okay.
All right, a breezy mild St. Patrick's Day on the way. 65, the high late this afternoon. A forecast first alert for Wednesday for the potential of several inches of snow. The heaviest of it right now looks like it'll be just south and the South Metro of the Twin Cities toward the Iowa border. Something we'll keep a close eye on, of course, for the next couple of days.
Okay, thanks guys, and thanks for watching 5 Eyewitness News.
More local news from 7 to 9 on 45. Then we'll see you for Minnesota Live at 9.